Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya starring in a movie about the betrayal of Fred Hampton, that's enough to attract anyone to this movie. It is a must see. Judas and the Black Messiah was directed by Shaka King and stars Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield, Jesse Plemons, and Dominic Fishback in a film about Bill O'Neill, who was offered a plea deal by the FBI to infiltrate the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party and gather intel on its leader, Fred Hampton. This movie comes to theaters and HBO Max simultaneously on February 12th. What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Leo. Go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button if you like videos on the latest in movies, TV shows, with a sprinkle of anime and gaming. Today, I cannot wait to review Judas and the Black Messiah with you all. This movie is an incredible film that I absolutely think should be considered for the Oscars Best Picture contender. Now, that's pretty weighted statement, but y'all, once you see this movie, you will be on the exact same page as me. Let's start out with what works in the movie. And what absolutely works is this cast, starting out with Daniel Kaluuya. What a force to be reckoned with, everybody. Now, I loved him in Get Out, and I thought that was one of his best roles. But honestly, this is by far, in my opinion, his best to date. Now, I haven't seen his full filmography, so I can't exactly say it's his best film out of all of his films because I haven't seen every single one, but out of what I've seen, this is easily his best role. He puts so much into this performance. You can tell he's putting his all into it. He completely transforms for Fred Hampton and plays just this charismatic but powerful leader who rallies more than just his team by his side. He rallies people who you wouldn't think he rallies, because if you know the story of Fred Hampton, you know that he led the Rainbow Coalition, which was not only Black Panthers, but was also people that were liberal whites and Latinos as well. They all united, and so he plays that very charismatic leader incredibly well. And there are some very daring scenes in this movie where he embarks into areas that maybe he shouldn't and maybe other people wouldn't, but he is so brave. And Kaluuya just plays such a great Hampton. He does an excellent job with the accent. He is just so demanding with that camera. It is just so easy to enjoy his performance, and this is just over the top, easily his best role to date. I absolutely love Kaluuya's performance. Now, aside from him, Lakeith Stanfield does an incredible job as Bill O'Neill, and Dominic Fishback does an incredible job as Deborah Johnson as well. You've also got other heavy hitters like Jesse Plemons is in this movie as the FBI agent involved, and Martin Sheen is even in this movie as J. Edgar Hoover. I mean, like I said, just some heavy hitting names here, but Daniel Kaluuya absolutely steals the show as Fred Hampton, and Lakeith Stanfield is great in his own right. He really embodies this nervous, very regretful man, and he does an incredible job of doing so. And Lakeith and Daniel on screen together, they have this chemistry that is crazy. He has Lakeith's character Bill O'Neill just kind of wrapped up in the Black Panther Party. But if you know the story of Fred Hampton, you know where this goes. Now, earlier in the year, we did get another portrayal, or actually late last year, we had a portrayal of Fred Hampton as well, with Kelvin Harrison Jr. playing the character in The Trial of Chicago 7. But that was just part of the movie. That was just a role, a very minor role. Here we get to explore Fred's life, and it's just so well done. So well done all around with the acting. That is my first really incredible thing. Everybody on this list can be nominated. Seriously. Like, they are that good together. And anybody that Daniel Kaluuya is on screen with, he is so amazing with them. He has great line exchange with them. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but just phenomenal. Like, I'm blown away by Kaluuya's performance. Now, let's move on to another thing that works, and that is the writing in this movie. There are lines in this movie that will seriously shake you to your core. They are so good, so well written, and so focused. Now, what I like is the dialect and the style that Kaluuya speaks in. He has the accent down to a T, and the lines very much reflect that. The script is just so well written, and it was actually co-wrote by the Lucas brothers, who are a great comedy duo, but man, they really bring it here with the pen. And there are a couple other writers as well. Director Shaka King does an incredible job of direction, just really well done in combination with the writing. A lot of great people are involved in this movie, including Ryan Coogler. You've just got some great names, great people involved, and not to mention Fred Hampton Jr. and Deborah Johnson are also consultants for the movie. So what an incredible project this has been, and you can feel the heart through the performances and through the movie and through how powerful and great it is. You can feel it, seriously. Now, moving on to the next great thing that works about this movie, the story. If you know the story of Fred Hampton, you know what's gonna happen. However, the way it just builds such a great light on Fred is so incredible, and the way it chronicles his journey in such a well-paced, well-written format, it's incredibly enjoyable to watch. It does leave you on the edge of your seat just because, like I said, if you know the story, you know where it's going, but it just is so well done, well-paced, well-written story, an incredible story to follow with some very tense scenes that had me shaking, y'all. I'm not gonna drop any spoilers since this is a spoiler-free review, but you will be on the edge of your seat the entire time. Incredibly written, incredible story, and another thing that works is the cinematography in this movie. There are some great shots, especially when Lakeith's character is driving. There are these really cool driving shots that are married with some great music that even when no dialogue is being spoken, is still incredibly captivating to watch. Great all around. The wardrobe is great. Everybody is just fantastic in this film. It's honestly hard to find out some things that don't work because, as you know, guys, I'm a critic. I had to find some negatives as well, and there's really not that many in this movie, but there are some things that don't quite work as well. And one of them for me was when Daniel Kaluuya spoke, sometimes it was a little bit hard to tell what he was saying because sometimes he spoke incredibly fast. Now, I didn't get the luxury of going to see this in theaters, so this might have been a problem with my TV's audio, and it could be that seeing it in a theater could have much better audio and correct this issue for me. But some of his lines were a little muddled and a little hard at dissecting. Now, again, it might be the audio on my TV, and it was very seldom, not a lot, but every now and then he would just kind of say some lines that I was like, wait, I gotta rewind just to make sure I got exactly what he said. But still, his performance, please give this man a nomination because this was fantastic, you guys. Like, honestly, I could not stop thinking about it. Like, I left this movie shook to my core with what I had just watched. So I love Kaluuya. Seriously, this has to get nominated for multiple categories. Maybe not best direction, but best picture, best actor, best supporting actor, great all around. I just think this is incredible. It's a great story in history. It's really awesome to get a movie chronicling the Black Panthers and Fred Hampton, an incredible leader who was only 21 years old around when this was happening. He was probably, it's all started when he was about 18 years old to about 21. I mean, seriously, when I was 21 years old, you guys, I was not out here rallying people for a great cause. And Fred Hampton was just an amazing person, an amazing leader. And if you haven't read the story on Fred Hampton, I would highly suggest you check out some books on Fred Hampton. If I say the titles of them, it might spoil the movie, so I don't want to quite say that, but I will say definitely check out a book or two on Fred Hampton. Incredible person in history and a crazy, just an incredible figure to learn up about. So definitely recommend checking out some books and absolutely recommend this movie. Now, to give this movie a rating, I am going to give Judas and the Black Messiah a 9 out of 10. This movie is phenomenal across the board. Acting is incredible. Cinematography is incredible. It's well written with a fantastic story. I absolutely love Judas and the Black Messiah, and it is very tragic. That had me shook to my core, crying on the way. I almost said on the way out of the theater in Habit, but it had me crying right after I turned it off, you guys. It's a very tragic story, but I love that we get a story on the Black Panthers. It's timely. It really does line up with the Black Lives Matter movement and the fight for equal rights for people that look like me, for Black people today. And guys, keep the fight going because we need equality and we need equal opportunity across the board, everybody. We need everybody here to be a part of the fight. So definitely check out this movie. Check out some more on Fred Hampton if you get the chance. And if you're new here, go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. I'm here to build a community of people who love movies, who love film, who love comic books, games, guys, TV shows, all of it, you all. Come on back to the channel, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.